Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that...
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the job.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Weird.
I would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
It's the most emotional experience that a person can go through to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people.
Oh my God.
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple. A wishing apple? You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not. First love's kiss can break any curse.
Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck? Cry me a river. She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
I know this point has been made, but this truly is the worst casting maybe in the history of the film industry.
Just stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed.
They're remaking the movie. They just got rid of the dwarfs. Okay,
but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarves though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, we're a disability group. You just erase that whole image. The argument should have been from Peter Dinklage. There's power of being on TV. There's power of television. And to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story. Don't change the character.
There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. The reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable.
Rachel's Glur just suffered another major blow, this time brutally mocked by The Simpsons. In their upcoming episode, they go all in with a savage version of Rachel and her Snow White disaster. The Simpsons aren't holding back. The fake movie inside the show is called Snow Oak, the reimagining. And yes, it's exactly what you think, a full parody of Disney's failed remake of a classic. The timing couldn't be worse. Rachel's Glur is already drowning in bad headlines, angry fans, and a huge box office flop.
It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made 2.
Disney was humiliated when the pixel-style Minecraft movie crushed Rachel Zegler's Snow White. The studio never expected one of their most famous fairy tales to fall apart like this. Casting Rachel was the first mistake. Then she started talking, and things got worse. Before all this, no one even knew who she was.
And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait.
But the theaters were empty. People filmed themselves walking into screenings where they were the only ones there.
I am walking into Snow White, 2 p.m., now seating. Let's see how empty it is. I hope, it's off the woke we go. I hope. Sound like I hear a couple of people. 1, 2. Oh, okay. 2.
And now, on national TV, the Simpsons are mocking her. A joke the whole world will see. Rachel's close friends say she's furious. She's not laughing, not even a little. In the cartoon, she's shown as a tone-deaf, self-obsessed girl, boss, who's lost touch with reality. And honestly, many people agree. As if things weren't already bad enough, Rachel's Glur is now trying to escape the mess and the total failure of Snow White, while the Simpsons keep dragging her down.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
People are like, oh wow, Snow White flop. Who is surprised? You cast arguably the least genuine, most out of touch, and disliked person in her industry, and her industry is Hollywood. And the bad guys
just days after Disney reportedly asked Rachel Zegler to pay them back for the total disaster that was Snow White, she suddenly went silent. The actress, who had been at the center of a major controversy, has now completely disappeared from the spotlight. No social media, no interviews, nothing.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it. For
months, critics have been saying exactly this. And now, with Rachel's Glur already buried in bad press, one of the most iconic TV shows, The Simpsons, is piling on. Honestly, this might be her most embarrassing moment yet.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statement.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that.
To understand how we got here, you have to go back to what once looked like a real-life Cinderella story. Rachel's Glur was set to become Hollywood's next big star. She landed the lead in Disney's live-action Snow White after earning praise for her role in West Side Story. It should have been the biggest moment of her career, but things quickly spiraled the moment the project was announced. Rachel's interview started getting all the attention, not because of the movie, but because of the controversy that came with them.
Rachel Zegler just keeps making things worse with the Walt Disney Company. The more that she tries to defend this movie, the more that she tries to spew her agenda onto the general public, it's only making matters worse. Not just for Bob Iger, but for whatever is left of the image of Disney as a whole.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
Her interviews mostly centered on tearing down the original film instead of celebrating the character's legacy or showing excitement about playing such a beloved role. In one now viral clip, she claimed the prince in the 1937 cartoon basically chases her, calling the plot weird and outdated. That's when the internet exploded.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Weird.
It wasn't just an opinion for many fans. It felt like she was mocking the heart of the classic story she was being paid to represent.
I just want to tell you guys about a incredible movie that just came out, Snow White. Wow. I just got to tell you, best movie I've seen in years, and there have been some really good films lately. Madam Web, Rebel Moon Part 1, that movie, that transgender one with the Mexican drug lord. But Snow White blows them all away. Chat, this movie has everything. Horrifying CGI, little people, check. A feminist princess who don't need no man, double check. Diddy dance party at the end, double Diddy check. All this to say, go see Snow White right now. The new one, not that old stupid one where the princess gets saved by some good, upstanding guy.
As more interview clips surfaced online, the backlash kept growing. While a few called her bold and modern, most people saw this new Snow White as arrogant, rude, and completely out of touch.
Did the dwarfs make it or no?
Well, the CGI dwarfs did. Of course, that goes back to the original controversy where Peter Dinklage, a very talented little person actor, said, why are we doing that? We've hired a Latina actress to be Snow White. That's progressive.
but you're going to hire little people to play the dwarfs? That just seems like a step backwards. And then, of course, Disney instantly buckled and said, okay.
The phrase girl boss started trending online about Snow White, but not in a good way. Every word Rachel said was picked apart, and each quote, red carpet interview, and public event only brought more criticism. Fans felt like the magic of Snow White was slipping away right before their eyes. But things got even worse when her awkward relationship with co-star Galetta showed up at award shows and press events. People couldn't stop noticing their strange body language, especially at the Oscars.
Magical creatures.
Then they got even crazier and they decided that the dwarves in Snow White weren't woke enough, okay?
You're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's for dwarves.
Fans noticed almost no chemistry or connection between them when they appeared on stage together. Rumors spread that Gal was trying to stay clear of the scandal and that things behind the scenes weren't friendly. Meanwhile, Disney stayed unusually quiet. No major changes in direction or messaging happened. Everything seemed normal, but the movie itself just wasn't capturing the audience.
They've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, "Hey, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her." And she did it and got like millions of views, and they were like, "Good job, Rachel." And then she, like, minutes later, followed it up with, "And never forget, free Palestine."
And isn't her co-star Jewish?
Yes, Gal Gadot.
I mean, what?
Yeah. Wow. They tried, they flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with Rachel Zegler to say, "Could you please take that down? Because we understand you can have your political views, but those aren't really helpful when you're trying to build an audience for a movie. Maybe you could save them for like your diary and your friends, but like maybe not, maybe just take the tweet down." And she wouldn't.
But my name is Gal, and I'm Jewish. And we have had enough of
When
Jew
Snow
hate.
White hit theaters, Disney had its full marketing machine behind it, but ticket sales stayed flat. Even a famous name couldn't save it, and the film quickly became one of the studio's most controversial remakes.
Please welcome Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen. Their work makes the impossible seem possible. With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations. Here are the nominees for Best Visual
Thanks
Effects.
to a brutal Simpsons parody, that failure is now locked into pop culture. Classic Springfield sarcasm hit right at the core. What should have been Rachel Zegler's breakout role turned into a warning about how far a bold rebrand can go. No matter how you feel about her modern take, the controversy made sure Snow White would be remembered, but for all the wrong reasons.
Zegler would be a miscast in that sense. Instead, she gets her name from surviving the snowstorm.
That audiences walk away from this film with an understanding of the true meaning of fairness, of what it means to be fair in this world. There is a message that's been carried on for almost 90 years now from the original animated classic. That is, fairness is what is within. Fairness is to do with your heart, the way you treat the people around you, and it has nothing to do with what you look like, and that's the misunderstanding between Snow White and the Evil Queen. I think it's such an important message, and the way that Disney has elevated it and brought it to this new audience is very special.
Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
I mean, they're projected to lose between 2 and 400 million upon this.
The Simpsons parody locked that failure into pop culture. Classic Springfield sarcasm cut straight to the core. What should have been Rachel Zegler's big break turned into a lesson on how a bold rebrand can go too far, no matter what you think of her modern take.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. The reality is she's just not stable.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is